Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to the Honest Trailer commentary for Space Jam 2: A New Legacy, I believe is the name of this film.
Yes.
This
I believe it's
show-
just Space Jam: A New Legacy. No,
Don't
no
forget the
actual
colon.
2 in there. No actual 2.
Every sequel is a colon these days. So we're going to talk about our raw, uncensored thoughts about the film, show you some deleted scenes, respond to questions and comments from viewers like yourselves, and then we're going to tease you with next week's Honest Trailer. This is going to be a tough one for me to talk about because I have completely forgotten everything that happens in this movie.
Nothing. No, like a ton of stuff happens, but also nothing happens.
I feel like I went into a fugue state after, I think I went into it before the Looney Tunes showed up, and then I just snapped. I was like, whoa, what just happened? But I guess that's my general opening salvo. What did you guys think about Space Jam 2?
You were rehashing your fundamentals. You were just,
Yeah.
Dribble, dribble, shoot. Yeah.
See, again, I saw this with a group of drunk writers, so I had a grand old time, and then had to watch it again sober. And I suggest doing the first one and then not the second one, because the cracks really start to show when you watch it that second sober time. But yeah, it was fine. Like it was a movie that was made of a bunch of other movies. You know, it reminds me of when they run out of ideas for a show that's been on for 10 seasons and they just do a clip show.
Yeah.
It was like a clip show.
Yeah. It was like a sizzle reel for like what's coming next year at Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the whole thing really like, I don't even know if confusing is right, or like confounding, where I was just like, I kept feeling like I was trying to like get my footing under me. Like, what is the pit? Like what, in a sentence, what is the new Space Jam? Because it kind of feels like a whole bunch of stuff and I couldn't really figure out what it was trying to be. That's sort of the first half. And then in the second half, it settles into like Looney Tunes basketball game, like kind of what you expect Space Jam to be. But at that point, I was confounded just because I was trying to figure out who everybody in the background is. And most of them are not anybody. They make you this promise that this is a stadium full of Warner Brothers characters. Most of the time, that means like Batman villain, none from the Ken Russell film, The Devils, and then just like random steampunk pirate looking people. Like most of them are not even real characters, and I found that very confusing.
No, they were very like, instead of taking them out from the films and digitizing them, they were like Hollywood Boulevard dress up versions.
Yeah, it's very
which one of them has a knife? Who knows?
Right. It very much feels like all of them are going to hit LeBron up for $10 for the photos that they were taking during the movie.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll watch the trailer and get into it. I do remember having the thought that Al Qaeda should use this as recruitment because the West has become too decadent and must be and like, wow, we've really this is the terminus point of Hollywood is like where every movie is just cut up and mashed up with every other movie and sold.
I will say, I do think there is something significant here. This and Ready Player One, like the one shared thread they both have that is weird is that all of the references are context free. It's like, these aren't the characters. Like the White Walkers aren't acting like White Walkers. Like they're just there. They look like White Walkers, but they're cheering for a basketball game, which a real White Walker, it's a hideous zombie. They're not going to cheer for a basketball game.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, what is a basketball game? What is basketball?
Right. So in a way, it's like
babies.
It's not even cool. Like, it's not even fun to see them because they're just visually represented, but it's not really these characters we love in a scenario that's familiar.
It's like a backdrop full of Funko Pops.
Or like exactly. the Cold Stone Creamery of like, you just like dump a bunch of stuff on a thing and like mix it all up and then see
right.
I think this is one of those like Cold Stone Creamery abominations where it's like 40 things in a cup. That's what this is. That's this movie.
I haven't been to a Cold Stone in so long. Remember how like buff everyone's forearms were that worked there? Super jealous.
They had to be from all the
all that scooping.
Like Popeye. Okay, anyways, let's watch the honest trailer for Space Jam: A New Legacy.
You loved the first Space Jam because you were like 8. Now, it's time for the next generation to get their own Looney Tunes NBA crossover. But while the first one was merely inspired by a commercial, the all-new sequel just is a commercial.
Show 'em who
Apparently
you
people are
really
actually
are,
clicking
notorious
this.
P.I.G.
What in the Matrix hell?
Should
It
have.
goes on like this for like 2 hours.
That go to an affiliate link or something.
Space
Yeah,
Jam
pause.
2.
I mean, it just to me, I was asking the question like, who is this for? Like, it's for children ostensibly, but none of these references are for kids. Kids don't care about any of the stuff that they're packing in there, right? Like, not even the Looney Tunes. No, the kids
I think
watch
I'm
the-
trying to think of the last time that a Looney Tunes
Well-
thing was big, and I can't.
I said this on Twitter that I thought of the Looney Tunes as old man references, but apparently they do keep rehashing, like Cartoon Network had Looney Tunes shows. And so I do think kids know the Looney
Boomerang.
Tunes, but right. But in terms of like, apparently there was a show that people really like where Kristen Wiig voiced Lola Bunny was like a character on it. Like, I didn't know about any of this, but that is real. So I guess kids know Looney Tunes, but to the rest of your point, absolutely. It's just like Game of Thrones and, you know, like they're just mixing together Mad Max and like, it just seems, like the idea of a movie for kids with like sprinkled in references for the adults, but that's now like taken over.
Right. Yeah. Anyways.
4 quadrant, where like the 5th quadrant is just references.
Yeah, the 5th quadrant is like the internal brand marketing team at Warner Brothers.
It's also weird that in a movie for kids, the lead character is LeBron, who is a guy that we know from other media is capable of being really like upbeat and fun and charismatic. Like he has that side to his personality, but they chose to make his character the really like, he's the overly serious, angry dad who wants his kid to like do basketball drills instead of loving video games. And it's like, why?
Like he was looking for a more serious part, you know, he didn't want to get pigeonholed.
Like, you're doing Space Jam. Like, be the wackiest version of yourself for the Space Jam movie. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible that Michael Jordan arguably gives the more charismatic Space Jam lead performance. Like, that's wow. I did not expect to be here saying that.
Oh well. All right, keep going.
Jam 2, A New Legacy. Since '96, Warner Brothers has been searching for an athlete big enough to fill Michael Jordan's enormous jeans. And after waiting for decades, they shrugged and settled for LeBron James, the Michael Jordan of leaving for a better team.
Ran out of teams to play for?
He's a basketball icon who refuses to shut up and dribble. In fact, he'll say everything from what?
What?
To what the?
What the? What the? What the? What the?
To a tiny in a performance that uses the latest in practical and digital effects to fix his hairline.
And then I'm gonna lean up.
Pause. I mean, Danielle, you're chief hairline inspector and wig corrector.
It's a true story. Yes.
Yeah, you definitely spotted that. And yeah, LeBron struggled with his hair, and I respect that because, you know, we're all getting up there. It's all starting to go. But like, it was so dramatic. It was like he just showed up on set with like a perfectly sharp, like bowl cut hairline.
Look, like, if you want to, there's a product that will help you dye your hairline if you need to just fill in some holes. So you can go. We're not sponsored, so I'm not giving them the SponCon. But you can go. That little bulb that he's spraying in there is like the hairline fixer bulb.
Yeah.
Also, I thought it was funny that they referenced Barbershop because, like, isn't Barbershop the place to go when you want to watch LeBron James say the F word? I just thought it was really interesting that they kept referencing that.
He's got that show, right? The Shop.
Yeah, The Shop.
Yeah, The Shop. That's his show on HBO where they have conversations in a barbershop.
Yep. And yeah, I was thinking like Michael Jordan, you were talking about Michael Jordan's performance. Like, he's really so nonchalant about everything in Space Jam. That
he gets sucked into a cartoon world and meets Bugs Bunny, and he's like, what's going on?
Yeah. So I guess LeBron's performance is like in that vein where he's also pretty unreactive to the situation he's in.
He like, where is the guy from that commercial where he played like 8 members of his own family? Like, I thought we were going to get that LeBron, and we really kind of don't.
Ah, shucks. All right, keep going.
Weirdly.
MJ would never. Watch as a guy who's known for being electrifying on the court and a corny goofball off it is cast as a joyless grump who plays boring basketball.
Everything in between these 4 lines. Work.
And when his son Dom gets kidnapped by his nemesis, a cleverly named villain will win the kid over by showing him all the love and encouragement he's missing at home, forcing the dad to round up a bunch of cartoonish misfits from a land where they don't age and convince them to help him fight back against the bad guy until he learns to let loose, have some fun, and believe he can fly. Bang-a-rang, bang-a-rang. Hey, can we just watch Hook instead? Don Cheadle Coast.
I mean, this gives the lie to the, oh, it's a kids movie, like, well, lay off, but because it's like kids movies don't have to suck. Like they did the exact same plot for Hook. It's fantastic, and like, you know, I mean, it's unfair to hold other kids movies to like a Pixar standard, but there's kids films every year that are genuine and moving and tell a story and are fun and wacky and even can make room for some product placement. So it didn't have to be this way. It didn't.
I will say, if I go to McDonald's, I exclusively get Happy Meals, and I will say the LeBron James Happy Meal toy is mwah. They did a great job. So at least there's that.
Is it like, cartoon LeBron from the movie?
Oh
or is
yeah,
it like
and
a realistic LeBron.
And you press a little thing in its back, and it's got real basketball dribbling action.
Oh, there you go. That's fun.
Here I've been wasting my life on McDonald's breakfast when I forgot Happy Meal. You can order a Happy Meal as an adult.
Yeah, you can just do that. No one stops you.
You might have a kid with you. Like, and
I have a kid. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. You've got the perfect cover. Like I have to pretend the kid's in the car or something.
In the trunk. Yeah.
It comes with apple slices. Who doesn't love
the kid's in a box that I wear on my back because she is a demon. So you know how that goes.
That's just a reference to Lon's actual life. All right, keep going.
That's not an anime reference.
Don Cheadle co-stars as a slightly different kind of war machine, Algae Rhythm. He's got a plan to steal all of LeBron's social media followers. And, like, have fun with that, dude. He'll do it by kidnapping some of basketball's most available talent at the time of filming, all to beat LeBron at his son's blatant NBA Jam ripoff. Plus, he wants to kill the Looney Tunes, I think? It gets kind of murky. Honestly, once the horny nuns and the Iron Giant showed up, I just tuned out and scanned the background for Easter eggs. Oh, hey, look at that. Jabberjaw. Neat.
Yeah,
how do you do, fellow kids?
Does anyone want to take a swing at Al G. Rhythm's plan? What it was? Anyone remember?
He wants to prove that he can make a movie just by algorithms. And so then he makes Space Jam: A New Legacy.
He gets rejected. Yeah. No, he gets rejected from like movie making. So he's like, instead, I'm going to make a basketball game and make everyone watch me beat LeBron James at the basketball game I invented.
Yeah, because LeBron James made fun of his great idea, so now he has to. The algorithm has to make fun of, like, has to humiliate LeBron James. He's got a real ego problem.
And then
I feel like there was a pitch that was Space Jam 2 is LeBron's kid has invented this basketball game, and somehow LeBron and his kid get sucked into the game, and the only way for them to get out is to win. And they bring in the Looney Tunes to help them. I feel like, because that's like a beginning, middle, and end. And the bones of that story are here. But it keeps getting like confused and layered on and piled on with the algorithm and the serververse stuff.
And there's so much about how important his followers were and stealing social media followers and stuff like that.
Right, and then scanning and sucking real people into the serververse, and who can get let out of the serververse becomes very confusing. And it's just like, what is all of this?
And I know we hit it on the head, but if you're dragging in a bunch of people to watch a Warner Brothers project, like 90% of them are just going to be comments about restoring the Snyderverse. Like, I'm sorry. True. Like, I know we hit it on the head.
That should have been a whole section of the stadium. It was just really mad guys who look like me. Like, bring back Batfleck.
Release the Ayer cut.
Oh, yeah. How did we miss this? It should have been in the video. Oh, well.
That should have been in the trailer.
Yeah. All right. Keep going.
Fellow kids, it's the Looney Tunes. They may have peaked during the Korean War, but that won't stop them from doing all the latest memes of 2003. There's Bugs Bunny, who turns in a performance that can only be described as off-brand Bugs Bunny.
I'm a toon, Doc.
And the return of Lola Bunny, a rabbit I'd like to flatter because of her strong work ethic. Yeah, that's it. But who cares about the Looney Tunes? This movie sure doesn't. What they really want to showcase is Warner's exciting catalog of properties that they've run into the ground. From the hit show that got ruined by its last 2 seasons.
The Brandon of House Stock.
to the hit films that got ruined by their last 2 sequels.
Château Aubryon 1959, magnificent wine. I love French wine.
To the hit franchise that's being ruined.
Love that Merovingian. Can't get enough. Can't get enough of that guy. Bring him
Orgasm
back.
cake.
He's coming
That's
back.
what the kids want.
He's
The kids
back.
want to see.
He's confirmed back.
I
gonna be in Matrix
believe,
4?
correct me if I'm
Oh,
wrong on this,
wow.
folks. I think we have confirmed Merovingian in Matrix 4.
Thank God. I hope it's entirely
thank God.
Merovingian content. Because I was looking for like
Yeah.
what's like a good bad Matrix sequel clip, and like there's the finale where they're just like "Gah, gah, 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 gah," and then there's the cave rave's fine. I like the cave rave.
I like the cave rave. I think
Yeah.
Architect. To me,
Architect.
number one
Architect.
is Architect. That
But we've done that-
represents all
we've
the.
Definitely
Yeah,
used
we've
that
done.
clip before. So number 2 with a bullet, the Merovingian. God,
Yeah.
wow! I forgot that they were like, let's send him to a horny Frenchman.
Yeah, like 20-minute digression about like feeding Monica Bellucci sexy cake,
Yep.
digitally sexy cake or something. Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
That's
and
being
yeah,
ruined by
I
Jason-
also the architect scene in my head has completely now merged with the Will Ferrell. Like I can't even picture the original architect. I just picture Will Ferrell as the
Yeah.
architect.
Good point. It's just
That's
crazy
all I was
that
gonna add.
their 3 biggest things that they have to showcase are all in like various states of cardiac arrest, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Dead. Matrix dead, and
Potter certainly
and
struggling.
Yeah, it's tough times. So I guess they went easy on the DC stuff. They couldn't get like a Cavill or an Affleck or someone to show up, right? Or even a Momoa. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
I sort of-
that would have been cool.
I sort of expected that. I figured somebody from that world, especially because there's a little side bit with Wonder Woman, and they brought in Rosario Dawson, who's certainly great and a recognizable voice, but you definitely expect Gal Gadot in there.
Right. Well, and she does voice. She does do the voice of Wonder Woman in a bunch of their DC
Right,
animated.
yeah,
So I
no,
guess
no,
they
I-
were like only able to do the DC animated. But you would
Right.
think that one of them would have a day off where they could be like, they were too busy filming the Imagine video. I guess like they didn't have time to come in.
Yeah.
So some huge missed opportunities here as the parent company of HBO to throw in Arliss, the Rock from Ballers, and Ari Gold from Entourage. To have all the
Well,
agents.
honestly, if you're gonna get Bob Wool from Arliss to come back, he could also be Alexander Knox from Batman '89. You've got multiple options there.
Boom. Yeah.
I
And
still
Pauly-
say, they
Pauly
should have brought in the
Where was
Watchmen.
Pauly?
They should have brought in the Watchmen characters, just all blue dog.
All blue dogs. Yeah, enormous
Yeah.
blue dogs in the background. And restore the Arliss first. Yes. Okay, keep going.
That's being ruined by J.K. Rowling's last 2 brain cells. Honestly, this movie should have focused on Wile E. Coyote, if anyone. He put up 524 points in the final game. MVP! MVP!
Yeah. Pause.
So enjoy the film.
I mean, I know it doesn't matter because, it's a cartoon. But it hurt the finale to be like, this isn't basketball. None of the rules are different. The points don't matter. Like, I know that the first one, it was like, oh, they just scored a 100-point shot, but at least you knew it was like basketball. So you could kind of follow it. Here, you didn't quite know why anyone was winning or why it was worth more than anything else. Like, I know Porky Pig won a rap battle against nobody and got a bunch of points for that.
It's Calvin Ball. Like,
Yeah, it's 100%
Yeah, no.
Calvin Ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it like everything else in the movie, they introduce the concept of this basketball game is going to be significant in terms of the plot, and then they basically just abandon it, and it just becomes total chaos. It felt like everything. Like they're like, hey, we're going to introduce Sarah Silverman and Stephen Yeun as these executives, and then they show up, and then they don't do anything funny, and then we just forget about them and move on. And it's like every 10 minutes, the movie like hits reset. It's really bizarre.
Yeah. LeBron doesn't even do much in the game. Michael Jordan had that big like extendo arm thing at least. Where's his extendo arm?
He's got that one where he like hits the bonus. It's got to symbolize like he gets into the kid, like his son's game. So
Yeah.
rather than just trying to make the shot, he like hits the bonus jumper or whatever. There is that moment, but
the power
Yeah,
of love, baby.
yeah, it's just not.
So
it's
bad.
not like about anything. Like nothing really culminates in like a moment. It's just like, here's some stuff. Look at that. Scooby Doo's there.
Okay,
Who's
keep
that
going.
guy? I think is that Betty Davis? I don't know. Let's move on.
Here's some stuff. All right, keep going.
Equivalent
Why
of a
would there be
genetic
two
mistake
penguins?
begging to be
I don't
put out
know.
of its misery. With a villain who embodies a creatively bankrupt movie studio, staffed by incompetent executives.
A new idea from the algorithm. I'm listening.
Some of the greatest 2D animated characters
Why are
of
you
all
there?
time transformed into CGI freaks against their will.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, not do that.
And a hero who laments how corporations force IPs to cross over for cash.
They all left.
Then does exactly that. But who cares? It's just a dumb kid's movie. As long as they have that Come On and Slam song in there, we'll call it even. Come on, slam, or no one will feel welcome at your jam.
Us. For
Stop.
shame. For shame. There must be the only way this is like excusable is if the Quad City DJ's estate is very protective of their legacy. They saw the movie and they were like, we will not be associated with this.
I had to go to the Wikipedia page and look up Quad City DJ's controversies to
Canceled,
see if there was
me
like
too.
some reason why they hadn't put this
I
on.
know why R. Kelly's not on this one, but where are
Yeah.
the Quad City DJs?
Not all of those people wanted to come on Ride the Train. It was non-consensual. Some of them were like, leave me off this train. And the Quad City DJs were relentless.
The train's
Yeah.
coming.
That train was ran. So yeah, it's crazy that the second thing everybody knows about Space Jam, that song was not even referenced. It was in the trailer, which is weird. So maybe
What's the graver insult? Not featuring Come On and Slam and Welcome to the Jam in Space Jam 2, or not featuring the original Mortal Kombat theme in our new Mortal Kombat reboot?
they sort of did. No,
They
because
built up to that, yeah.
Yeah, they had a bit
But
like
it
a
was-
taste of.
they
It was a
were not-
remix. It was a remix.
Yeah, just a little taste of it though.
And it's like fine, you can do a little remix version of the Quad City DJs, you know. Throw Kid Cudi on there, whatever you have to do. I don't know.
That's a depressing slamming jam.
Yeah.
I just watched the Bill and Ted one. It's like, wow, they're really hoping Kid Cudi has a long-lasting career because he is in this movie. Anyways, yeah, spoiler alert for that. Yeah, come on. Inexcusable. Someone give us the real story for why there's no Quad City DJs, because I can't fathom why it wouldn't be in there. All right, let's finish up.
Cleveland Steamer. Say Doc again. I dare you.
That's some fancy footwear, Doc. Doc, 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 Doc. What's up, Doc?
Big Chungus. That's Big Chungus. Personal foul. Nice try, movie, but I'm also horny for solid basketball fundamentals. Ham and M. LaDubbed James.
Sorry, don't get cross. Gotcha.
Come on, bro.
This character wasn't even in the script. Don just showed up on Molly and started talking like this.
Oh, they're alive!
Pause.
Rapists.
There's a good point that there's so many references that aren't even to Warner Bros. Properties. Like, It's Alive, that's like a Universal monster thing.
Yeah, that's Frankenstein.
Yeah, you had a whole list of them.
I did. Yeah, I made a long list because after a while I was like, wait a minute, because there's one that's like Back to the Future where the scoreboard looks like the DeLorean, and it's like that's a Universal reference, guys. And then there's at one point Lil Rel goes, "Anything is possible," which is Kevin Garnett. That's not a Warner Brothers reference.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a ton of them.
And then they did the stop Hammer time. Like, wow, how was there an MC Hammer extended joke in this? Which again, you point out was Capitol Records, now Universal Music Group.
The Universal Music Group, not Warner Brothers.
Star Trek.
Are they warning us that they're about to buy Universal?
Yeah.
Like, is this
just like Warner Brothers got all that good IP?
Yeah, planted their flag. Game Blouses, that was from Chappelle Show to Viacom.
Yeah.
Star Trek, Viacom. Anyway,
Yeah, Star Trek stuff, right? Yeah, it's just
like they ran out of references for their own stuff.
You Mad Bro, we got You Mad Bro in there.
That's property of Cameron.
Yeah, that's Cameron. You mad?
Although I'll bet Bill
Not
O'Reilly
Warner
owns
Brothers.
the rights to that footage.
But also Fox, not Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Current affair. Okay, anyways.
I know about you, Billy boy.
Keep going.
We can just make Cameron references all day.
We could just make Cameron references.
Yeah.
Child murderers. And a woman who tortures and imprisons her disabled sister. Good thing they cut Pepe Le Pew out of this movie. Whew, that could have been problematic. It's not TV, it's an ad for HBO. Did a video game write this movie?
It's like basketball, but better. But everybody on the team plays video
LeBron.
games. Dom built a video game.
Oh, nice. You're on video game.
Let's get a look at that game of yours.
Hey, if I'm gonna be in this game, I need a superpower or something.
I need one of those special modes. Your game is amazing, son.
Style points, power-ups. See, kids, playing video games do pay off.
Yeah.
Hit the camera.
Gamers, rise up. Yeah. A lot of gaming. Okay. Well, this was fun.
I'd like to stress that's not a joke that makes sense in the context of the movie. At one point, Lil Rel just turns to the camera and says, like, video games, they're fantastic. All right, let's move on with Space Jam 2. Like, it literally is unprompted.
Yeah, there's this big controversy. Like, a lot of people were mad at this movie because, like, they misidentified a Game Boy Color. They're like, it's a Game Boy. He hands him a Game Boy Color, but it wasn't.
It's clearly just the original Game Boy.
Yeah, but I have a charitable interpretation of this line because he's like, the Game Boy Color, like, I just got it. And then I thought he was handing him his old Game Boy because he has the Game Boy Color. So that was that's why I didn't put it in because my line reading.
But you then see the game that Dom is playing or that young LeBron is playing, and it is in color.
It turns into color, but I think that's just because, like, you know, he's on DMT or something.
His imagination?
The
power of his imagination.
Yeah.
He's the one guy that fell in love with Bugs Bunny via Game Boy.
At least make it Tasmania. Like, do something that makes sense.
how we all got into the Looney Tunes through all of their awesome video
platformers.
games.
But don't
all
worry.
those great classic platformers.
He immediately threw it in the trash, so don't worry. The gift. All right. So where are we in this whole thing? So
we got some clips or
yeah. Thank you for watching and subscribing and all that rigmarole. Let's watch some deleted scenes.
Bangarang, bangarang. Hey, can we just watch Hook instead? Not all kids' movies have to suck ass, you know. Starring Legally Blonde, Ready Player Braun, Zendaya is Bunny, Women Be Hopping, Lasan, I love the Dom who loves his family, Braun's Kids, A Kid in King James Court, Cheetos Never Prosper, Al G in the House, Windows 21, Clippy's Revenge, Al Gore Rhythm, Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster, Space Jam, A New Low, Server Jam, doesn't have the same ring to it, IP Freely.
Damn it, why didn't we do that?
That's this thing right here. This isn't a game. I need you focusing more instead of playing with these toys.
You heard of the E3 game design camp, right?
Yeah.
I'm going.
You can't go to that. Basketball camp is next weekend.
You kids and your video games. Why can't you buckle down and apply yourself to something way more realistic, like being in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, it's more realistic for LeBron's son. But yeah, there's like the one thing less attainable than being a game developer is like being in the National Basketball Association. But hey, you do you. All right, you guys have been chatting along with us, putting comments and questions in the chat. Here is some of them. Stephanie Estelle writes, how does it feel to be able to make an honest trailer so quickly after the release of the movie thanks to streaming? It feels spectacular. I don't know. It's the same process for us. And I guess I like it a little more because we have a chance to be the first to notice some things and point out some stuff. So we can be, but also maybe I'd like a middle ground because it'd be nice to have a few more weeks to really chew on it. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like this isn't like as tight of a turnaround as like some of them we've done where it's like the thing has come out on like a Friday or a Monday and we're like trying to turn it around super quickly. But I do like having just a little bit of time. But yeah, also it is nice to get in before all the memes and stuff.
Yeah, I really like being part of the like initial conversation people are having about the movie instead of coming back a few months later being like, hey, remember this thing? Here's our thoughts about it. But there are advantages to doing it because you get to go a little deeper when you're looking back on it and being like, here's how, because we're also, when we go back after like the physical media comes out, we're kind of looking back on that whole cultural moment. Like this movie came out, you all said this was the backlash, here was the response, and now we're going to like sum up that whole thing. And it's really different to come in and be like, this just came out, like, we're just going to dump all of our thoughts on you. I feel like the Space Jam, this one in particular, would probably be really different if we were making it in November instead of now.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we'll do it again. Luis Valenzuela writes,
I don't ever want to watch this again.
If they do make a sequel, which celebrity athlete would you pair with the Looney Tunes? I heard they were eyeing The Rock. I guess it'd be like a wrestling thing. What Looney Tune athlete combo would you pair?
I would stick with wrestling and go with John Cena because he's already kind of like, he dresses like a giant child. Like he's already tailor-made to be put into something like the jorts and the big shirts. Like, come on, he dresses like a sixth grader. Yeah. Specifically a sixth grader in cross colors in like 1992. Yes. But so I think that he would be like a really good fit for these. And they've done like, not with Looney Tunes, but they've done like the WWE meets Scooby-Doo and like all of these other kind of crossovers, like in cartoon form. So
they're actors though, right? I mean, like The Rock and John Cena are like real actors. I feel like the spirit, it has to be an athlete struggling their way through acting the role.
Yeah,
that's personally, just to give my 2 cents. But yeah,
Naomi Osaka, make her just make her life even worse.
Yeah,
or Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Oh, she's having a tough time. I think Marshawn Lynch has the personality. He's definitely of current working professional athletes. I most want to see Beast Mode mix it up with the Looney Tunes. I think also Tony Hawk would be really fun in like a skate or die, skate jam kind of movie where he would be with the Looney Tunes. I would be very in for that.
You get a lot of those references of people being like, "You look like Tony Hawk." His Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'd have so much fun with people thinking he's every other white male celebrity around his age other than Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be into keeping it in the NBA and doing like Tim Duncan or like a more boring NBA, like Larry Bird. I feel like that's what this was written for. It was like a guy who has a reputation for being like cold and efficient, but not exciting.
Right. That's the character as written, which is odd because it doesn't really feel like LeBron.
Yeah. Peyton Manning's always funny on SNL, right? Or I just remember him when he was throwing like bullet passes into those kids' chests. So yeah, give him one. All right. Let's see. I won't put you on the spot with that one. James Bunt asks, what trend in trailers do you guys hate? You have a trailer trend that
I'm done with the slowed down version of the song that we already know. I'm like super, unless it's like
I'm
something
sorry
I've never
call
heard
you
before,
out, but granted, this is about trailers. But didn't you just on this very program last week say
I did.
you were moved to tears by the slow version of "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
You did.
Okay, but that's Seattle bias. So we've got to take my Seattle bias out of it because if they put that just in the trailer, it would not have moved me to tears. I would have been like, "What are you doing? Yeah. There's no fish here to catch. This isn't for me." But yeah, so I think that's the one. It feels like we get at least like 7 of those a year, and so that's what makes it kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
I don't like the little mini trailer at the top before you get to see the trailer, where it's like big climactic moment coming, big climactic moment. Right, big climactic moment now, and then the trailer starts. Like I'm about to watch the trailer. You don't need to sell me on the trailer I just clicked on. Just go right into it.
That is what James, who submitted the question, also added. That for me, it is the preview to the trailer that you are currently watching.
Don't stop it. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, mine's an only but a goodie, but giving away the plot of the movie. Don't need to see it, or like every set piece. And I know, granted, they've shown that works on people. Like, don't hold anything back. It makes sense. Once they've bought the ticket, it's too late. But come on, man. Like I like to think that I'd be more moved by the mystery than I would by seeing, act 1, 2, and 3 of the film play out.
Yeah. I'm also annoyed by the time when all the captions, all the action's always interrupted by captions. And if you really go back and think about what the caption said, they don't mean anything. Where it's like, push through, see the world, do the thing. And it's like, what? Nobody's even paying attention to what these words are. Just show me the movie.
Yeah.
Good point. All right.
Fight. The world. Like what? That's every movie.
No, that is Jet Li's The One, where he has to fight the entire universe of ones.
Other use with a motorcycle.
Disturbed. Ooh, wah, ah, ah. Great. So next week we're going a little bit back in time, not too far though. For let's see, something that would maybe a little bit hammy, but it'll go well on a sandwich. That's a clue for next week's Honest Trailer. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.